Carlos, it's a great pleasure to also meet you here digitally. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Where are you right now? You're in the office, so you have some work, which is amazing, obviously. So where are you, what you're doing, and tell us just a little bit more about yourself, please.
Well, thank you, Patrick, for this opportunity to share my story. I'm Carlos Machado. I'm originally from Venezuela, and I've been living in Spain for the last 10 years. And last year I became homeless because I had no job, and for me it was impossible to afford my rent. So I was evicted from the room I was living. I had no place to go since I had some issues with my documentation. So I had to spend one night on on a park. Then I contacted a homeless entrepreneur through the helpline, in where I reached Andrew, and he provided me with help about what to do, the next steps. He shared my story with his network in LinkedIn. I found help from some priests. I stayed with them 3 months. And then I found, through the help of homeless entrepreneur mentors, program called Amazon Web Services Restart, which is to help people to get back into society, to get a job in cloud computing. So I complete that. And from that moment on, a lot of opportunity has been offered to me.
What happens in the life of Carlos that you end up on the street? And what are the actions that you then take to actually contact the home line and start with homeless entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, basically it's a matter of working permit. I 10 years ago, I came here with an entrepreneurship visa for 2 years, but in that moment my passport lapsed, and for me it has been almost impossible to do that because Venezuelan passport is one of the most expensive passport in the world, and it's about 400 euros to get a passport, and then you have to wait for years and years. Basically, this is one way in which the Venezuelan mafia, which is installed currently in the government,
Yes.
they do. This is a way to do political pressure to people from opposition. Spain is a beautiful country. They had a lot of sense. For example, at that moment, there was a public library that was open 24 hours, uh, to help students preparing for their tests. So I tried to spend the night there. The first night they discovered me, and they kicked me out of the library. But then I changed, so I find a park, and I slept in the morning in the park, and then went to the library in the night. I tried to keep working in the night because people from security, they came every hour to check everything, no? And since they were aware that I was working, they say nothing. So the problem was that they said this is not a place to sleep. Living in the street is a very difficult thing, and you are aware of a lot of things that you can imagine. I had some stuff that was taken away from me. I had like a huge set of bags with my clothes because I have a small carry-on, and it has no capacity for all the things that I had. So I was in a place and I put the bags there, and when I returned, everything was took away. And I had a huge Bible that was given to a person that I really appreciate. And the most amazing thing was the only thing that remained was the Bible. So the person that took this and the things away, I think, look through all the stuff and took away the two bags that took a great care about, because I was spending time, and money to move to a metro station and put it there in a, in a lockage, in a lock, in a storage. And I have to pay €3 daily, and you have to find the money because it's in cash. It's a huge lock. You put in the locker, you put the things in the locker and you close it. And specifically that day, I was, in the transit of moving away from one place to another, and there were some things there where I have some, like emotional attachment to this. But well, these are just material things. The most important thing for me was the Bible, because it has a huge emotional attachment, because it was gifted to me for for people that I really care about. And then so I got my Bible back.
Wow, that is incredible. So you're already living on the street, and then people even steal the last thing that you have. At least,
Yes,
I mean, it's also a nice symbolism. Like you can take everything away from a man, but his faith. So even the
exactly.
Bible stays like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
representation of your faith
yeah,
stays there.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You're right on. And for me, it was tough because I'm a professional person. I have a master's degrees. So for me, this is where was very, very far away from, my life. One day I was sleeping in the street, and a guy, approached me, offered me drugs and stuff, and I have never done drugs. Uh, but it was, very tough, because I think most people that is homeless, uh, it was not my case, but I think that probably people that is living homeless, if they are offered drugs, maybe they can, rely on this in order to, you know, um, decrease their pain. And when you're living on the street, is you are exposed to a lot of hazards, and it's not good enough. It's not really good. I think it's very difficult once you leave that experience to, to bounce back. It's require a huge personal strength, inner strength, so you can feel destroyed about this, and you can talk about this. And in my day, in my life, in a day, day by day, is, I try not to say anything people about this, because I think people have just this, like once they know you have through this situation, they try to treat you in a different way. No, it's like maybe is this person was homeless, is is a good person, is a good person, maybe something's wrong, whatever. No, so that's a huge thing uh, that changed my mind. No, in Spanish, there is a term called aporophobia, which is a phobia to poor people.
Oh, didn't.
And yes, it's very tough. In Spain, has been regulated. It's considered, if you commit a crime, and one of the reasons is you're trying to harm this person because he's poor, it will increase your your sentence. And also, for example, if you do it for that reason, it's considered a hate crime.
Wow.
So in Spain, it's a very interesting legal framework to prosecute this type of things. But we have cases in where people is, walking the street and find a homeless person, and kick this person in the street or whatever, because it's just it triggers something very, you know uh, you know basic, or it's tough to explain why people is triggered by homeless people. I don't understand that before, and now I can understand that either. Why you are feel why you feel, you know that this person that is living in a bad situation, you consider you are like entitled to make damage to this person. Maybe they think that since this person is so, uh, has no defense, has no nothing, they
Vulnerable.
can do it. They can harm these people for free. That's it.